YouTube channel. So today we want to talk about the power of compounding interest. So that is the strategy that we are going to talk about. It's called compound interest. What compound interest basically means is that you put a principal down, and then there's a percentage calculated on that amount as interest. It adds together, and then it starts all over again. So you make profit on profit, you make profit on principal. Basically, that's what compound interest is all about. Now, I mentioned a term called exponential figures, or exponential, and I want us to talk about it. So exponential means doubling or multiplying itself by the same number. So for instance, if I say the exponentials of 2, I mean 2 times 2, that is 4. So if you have two cedis in, or let's say $2 or 2 cedis in your account, the exponential of that will be 4 cedis. If you have 4 cedis, the exponential will be 16 cedis. So do you see how it's rolling? 2 cedis would exponent, or would exponentially give you 4 cedis. Then the 4 cedis will give you 16 cedis. The 16 cedis will give you 64 cedis, I think. So that is how exponential figures work, and that is how you are going to make money using exponential figures.
What is this?
I'll show you pretty surely how the whole thing works by using an actual calculator to do all those calculations for you. But then again, you need to understand the basics. So when you get this knowledge at the age of 20, by the time you are 40, you should have a very good amount of money in your account. And that is what I'm talking about. I want everybody to take advantage of the power of compound interest. It's the same thing like YouTube. YouTube works by compounding. So you do a video over there, and then with time it starts raking in some coins for you. The same thing as what musicians to do. I mean, what we call royalties from music, from movies, from books. You do the work one time, and it keeps raking in. So exponentially, you put your money in an account, not a savings account though, it's an investment account. So there's a figure that is calculated on your principal as interest every year or every quarter, depending on how it looks like, but every year, and then you get the amount. But then again, it rolls. It starts gradually, but the effect actually is felt at the tail end of the period. So for instance, if it's 20 years, the first 5 years would be very little, you wouldn't see much. But around the 19th year to the 20th year, that is when you see the exponential, you see the very great impact that it has had on your money. I mean, there are people who have used this strategy to make a lot of money, and then I'm sure most people in the financial field already know this. Warren Buffett, he's used that power to become a billionaire, a multi-billionaire. And this is not talking about just a billion, but a multi-billion, like billions in the I think he's worth around 90 billion dollars. So now the ability to wait for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years without touching your money is a very difficult skill. Not everybody can do that. It's a very difficult skill, because there will be times where you need money for very important things. It could even be an emergency, but then again, we'll talk about emergencies, money for emergencies. So you definitely need to keep some money aside for emergencies. But today, let's keep our focus on the compound interest. So there will be times where you need money for other important things, and then you'll be tempted to fall on the money, what the money has accumulated so far. But then again, you should know that this money is going in for the long term. You're not touching it until after 20 years, 15 years. But then again, it's good once in a while to go and look at how much you have. You can take some, but you should try as much as possible not to take more than enough, because it has to accumulate more, and then the more it gains momentum, the more it keeps compounding, the more you're going to have a lot of money in your accounts. So that is it. And then, like I mentioned earlier, the number one skill that you will need to keep going is delay of gratitude. That is a very important skill that you must have in order to accumulate, let's say, wealth or a lot of money, because there's always the need to buy something. Okay, there's always the want to buy something, always the want to get a new car, always the want to get a bigger TV, always the want to go to the finest restaurants. So if you're able to delay that, it's not that you're not going to do it, you will do it, but you are delaying it for a while, because you need to invest the money first, let the money grow, then you take some of the profit to do the things that you want to do. It sounds very easy to do, because don't buy it, put it, invest it, wait for a while, then use the profit to do the things that you would have wanted to do. That is very difficult in reality. It is very difficult in reality to do, because money can be there while you need money to do other things, and you say you want to wait and use it later on. So that is very difficult. But let's quickly zoom into some calculations and see how your money will be growing whilst you are